Hello, welcome back to another episode of Bertley Speaks. This episode is for the students. For those of you who are about to graduate high school or who are in college, right? And you are undecided. I have spoken to hundreds of students as a speaker on vulnerability, values, career success. The number one problem that I hear from students, aside from passions and listening to their parents, deciding where they should go and what they should do, is that next to that is that undecided checkbox. Because they honestly don't know what to do, where to go, what to pick. And I believe that is totally okay. And it's normal to want to choose undecided. But before you click that undecided or check that undecided box, I want you to listen to this. The frustrations and the pressure of needing to know what you're majoring in, telling your uncles, your cousins, and your parents, that's a lot of pressure, especially if you're already busy enough navigating your education career, your professional career, and your life. That's a lot of pressure for someone who has no experience in any of those industries that you are about to pick. But here's what I want you to do, is that I want you to network. No, I'm kidding. Network sucks. It's intimidating. Even I myself, as a student, hated networking. I'm an introvert. I never know what to talk about. I'm awkward. But I knew that if I needed to survive and put myself in those doors, I needed to network. And because of all of my funny failures and lesson learns, I want to condense them down to these pointers and share with you. Is that instead of networking and going to an event with 5 or hundreds of people and talk to everybody, that's exhausting. I don't want you to do that. Instead, I want you to pick 3 people from your network that works in different industry and professionals and book a 15 to 30 minute connect call, whether that's on the phone, Zoom, or a coffee grab. Just 3 people, right? Because as young individuals, we don't really have a big network and we're shy. I understand that, but just pick 3. And grab a one-on-one coffee grab Zoom call with them and pick their brains. That's it. And here's why it helps. Because by doing that, you are at least exposing yourself into that profession. You're seeing it from their eyes. That gives you a little perspective into what you don't want and what you want. And after every call or connection, I want you to ask them this. Hey, do you know who else I can talk to? Do you know who else in your field that I can talk to? Most likely, they will say, yes, I know somebody. If not, that's fine. Move on. And do it to the point where you feel comfortable, or do it until you feel like you have known enough. Because the more you practice, the better you will get. I know for myself, I'm not a good interviewer. I'm not good at picking people's brains. I remember my first few coffee grabs, I literally have a notebook and I would just go down every checklist. It's as if I was a robot. I had no conversations, but that was my lesson to learn. And you will also need a lesson for you to learn, to see how you do one-on-one interviews. But not only is it going to allow you to learn about the profession, but it allows you to be a better communicator. And you're also building and expanding your network with just 3 people at a time. And if you don't have anyone in any other professions or industry that you want to talk to, no one, here's what I want you to do. Leverage social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? I want you to make a post and say, hey, can you guys help me find certain people in their career paths that I can talk to for 30 minutes? Just do that. Ask for help. Raise your hand. People do want to help, but they don't know how to help if you don't ask and if you don't tell them. So make a simple social post by asking if anyone on your network knows anyone that you can talk to. And when you get one person's name, talk to that person and then ask if that person can refer you to someone else. That is how you build a network. That is how you use and leverage your resources. That is the lesson learned I took. That is my cheat sheet to networking. Instead of going to an event with 500 people, use your social media, use your contact list, and start from there. And let's just say, if you do go to a networking event, do the same thing. Quality over quantity. You don't need to speak to 10 people. Pick 3. Because if that's all you're able to do, perfect. That's all you need. Pick 3 people, talk to them afterwards, and on that one-on-one at the end of it, ask if they know no one else you can talk to. And I promise you, that quality interview is way more progressive and proactive than you going to that network event with 500 people and talking to 10 people. Because then you're feeling you're rushing yourself. You're constantly doing an elevator pitch and you don't get enough time to actually dive deep into certain conversations. But that one-on-one coffee grab, you definitely get the chance to. So students, before you choose that undecided, I encourage you to breathe, to take a moment, find 3 people in your network, ask for a 15 or 30-minute conversation, whichever way works for you. And after you're done, ask if they know anyone else you can talk to, because that way you're building your network, you're expanding your resources, you're practicing the way you communicate, and it's also the fastest way to decide what you're actually interested in, instead of always keeping everything in here and having the what ifs. So go out there, step into the world, make a post, look into your network, and ask for help and ask for those interviews. So I encourage you, and I hope you have the courage to do that. I know it's scary and nerve-wracking, but you got this. So as always, have a practicing mind.